The best reason to start something is not to make money, but to make meaning. These are the words of Guy Kawasaki in The Art of the Start, and they perfectly capture the heart of Bill Gates' journey. Because when most people think of Bill Gates, they see a billionaire, they see Microsoft, they see someone at the top of the tech world. But here's what they often miss. Bill Gates didn't start with money, fame, or even a perfect plan. He started with a mission: to put a computer on every desk and in every home. At a time when most people thought computers were just oversized calculators for scientists. Imagine being in your late teens, staring at a future that's uncertain, sitting in a Harvard dorm room with more questions than answers. That was Bill in the mid-1970s. No roadmap, no guaranteed career, just a belief that technology could change the world and the courage to chase it. This ICT just about Gates' rise from a curious kid to one of the richest men alive. It is about what that rise teaches us, lessons that you can take and apply in your own journey. You don't need to be a tech genius to be inspired by his story. You just need a dream big enough to pull you forward. From his early days tinkering with computers at Lakeside School, to leaving one of the most prestigious universities in the world, to battling competition, lawsuits, and public criticism, to giving away billions through one of the largest philanthropic foundations in history. Bill Gates' life is proof that success isn't about following a set path. It's about creating your own. And yes, it's about starting before you feel ready, just like Kawasaki reminds us. Guy Kawasaki writes, "Make meaning, and the money will follow." For Bill Gates, that meaning began in one unlikely place, the computer room at Lakeside School. Back in the late 1960s and early 70s, computers weren't the sleek laptops we carry today. They were massive, expensive machines, often locked away in universities and research labs. Most teenagers had never even seen one. But thanks to a fundraising effort by the Lakeside Mothers Club, Gates School got access to a teletype terminal connected to a mainframe computer miles away. Bill didn't just use that computer. He practically lived on it. While other kids were playing sports after school, he was learning the language of machines programming in BASIC, experimenting, pushing the system to see what it could do. This wasn't about chasing grades or impressing anyone. It was pure curiosity, the kind that keeps you up at night because you're too excited to stop. That's where he met Paul Allen, a fellow Lakeside student who shared his fascination. Together, they dove deeper, writing small programs, fixing bugs, and even getting into a little trouble for exploiting the school's computer time system. Instead of getting discouraged, they used that challenge to learn even more. Passion turns obstacles into opportunities. Kawasaki's principle of making meaning, ISN, T about chasing quick wins. It S about finding something so meaningful that you can't stop working on it, even when it gets hard. By the time most kids were thinking about their next school dance, Gates was already landing his first deal helping a company called Information Sciences Group with payroll software. He was still in high school, yet he was solving real-world problems for actual businesses. Think about that. No degree, no resume. Just skill, passion, and the willingness to start. Gates didn't wait to feel ready. He didn't say, "I'll do this once I graduate," or "I'll try after college." He started as soon as the opportunities showed up. That's straight out of Kawasaki's playbook. Don't wait for perfect conditions, because they don't exist. In The Art of the Start, Kawasaki says, "Don't wait for the perfect pitch, just get started." Bill Gates embodied that long before the book was written. After graduating from Lakeside, Gates went to Harvard in 1973. To most people, that was already the definition of success, one of the most prestigious universities in the world. But Gates didn't see Harvard as the destination. He saw it as a stop along the way. While his classmates studied for exams, Gates spent most of his time in the computer lab, exploring his obsession with programming. Then Paul Allen showed him a magazine cover that would change everything: popular electronics. January 1975. On the cover, the Altair 8800, one of the first microcomputers. To Gates and Allen, that wasn't just a gadget, it was a revolution waiting to happen. They knew that if personal computers were going to take off, they'd need software to run them. They didn't have the software yet, but they called Metz, the company making the Altair, and offered to demonstrate a basic interpreter they hadn't even written. That was the leap. They didn't wait to have every answer. They committed first, then figured it out. For weeks, Gates and Allen worked nonstop. When they finally flew to MITS to show their program, it worked perfectly. That moment didn't just secure them a deal, it set the foundation for Microsoft. In 1975, Gates made the decision to leave Harvard and go all in on the new company. Walking away from one of the safest career paths to bet on an unproven industry was risky. Friends and family thought it was reckless. But when your vision is clear, you can't let fear make the decision for you. In The Art of the Start, Kawasaki writes, "Great companies start because the founders want to change the world, not just make a quick buck." That's exactly how Microsoft was built. When Gates and Allen founded Microsoft, the personal computer industry was still in its infancy. Gates had a vision, a computer on every desk and in every home. The early days were nothing glamorous. Microsoft started in a small office in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Gates was relentless, reviewing every line of code himself, working long nights. A key turning point came in 1980 when IBM approached Microsoft to provide an operating system for their upcoming personal computer. Instead of selling IBM the software outright, Gates licensed MS-DOS. That meant every IBM PC and countless clones would send royalties back to Microsoft. This wasn't luck. It was strategic vision. Gates understood that success wasn't about the first paycheck. It was about building a foundation that could scale. Growth brought challenges. Microsoft faced fierce competition, lawsuits, and criticism over its aggressive tactics. Yet through it all, Gates kept his focus, making computers accessible and useful for everyone. By the late 1980s and early 90s, Microsoft dominated software. Windows made computers more user-friendly, opening the door for millions of new users. But as Kawasaki warns, success can be its own enemy. The bigger Microsoft grew, the bigger the challenges became. Kawasaki reminds us, the path to success is rarely a straight line. It's full of dips, detours, and dead ends, but those who persevere make it through. Gates' journey proved that. By the 1990s, Microsoft faced an antitrust lawsuit from the U.S. Department of Justice. Headlines painted Gates as a ruthless businessman. For many, that kind of legal pressure would be crushing. But Gates didn't walk away. He defended Microsoft in court while continuing to innovate. He didn't let negativity define him. He let the work speak for itself. Don't just survive the dips, use them to get better, Kawasaki says. Gates and his team used the challenges to think smarter, streamline, and sharpen their edge. Even when Microsoft lost parts of its legal battle, Gates moved forward asking, "What's next?" That mindset, accept, adapt, advance, kept the company alive through market shifts and new competitors like Google. By the early 2000s, Gates had faced some of the toughest challenges in business and still stood at the top. But now, he was about to make another leap, one that would take him far beyond software and into a mission to change the world itself. Kawasaki writes, "The ultimate test of your success is the difference you make in the lives of others." For Gates, that became the defining chapter. By 2000, he stepped down as CEO to focus on the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, aiming to tackle poverty, disease, and inequality with the same strategic thinking that built Microsoft. The foundation committed billions to eradicating diseases like malaria and polio, improving education, and increasing access to clean water. Meaning came from seeing a child vaccinated or a student gaining new opportunities. Gates faced critics in philanthropy too, but he welcomed debate, believing it led to better solutions. In 2008, he left his day-to-day role at Microsoft to work full-time on the foundation. True wealth is the ability to spend your time on what matters most. Gates didn't wait until the end of his life to give back. He made it part of his life's work. Today, the foundation impacts millions worldwide, proving that success isn't about how high you climb, but how far your reach extends. Kawasaki leaves us with this truth. Ideas are easy. Implementation is hard, but worth it. That's the essence of Gates' story. From a curious kid at Lakeside to a Harvard student taking a leap, to a global philanthropist, Gates' life shows that success is a series of decisions, risks, and reinventions. At every stage, he started before he felt ready. The lessons are clear. Start with meaning, take the leap, stay resilient, reinvent yourself, and give back. Right now, you might be holding on to a dream that feels risky. Maybe you're waiting for more resources or more confidence. But the best time to start was yesterday. The second best time is now. You don't need to follow Gates' exact path. You just need to commit to your vision and take the first step. Because every great success story starts with one decision, the decision to begin. Bill Gates didn't just start a company, he started a movement. And now, it's your turn. The ultimate goal isn't to live forever, it's to create something that will. Go start yours.